What's up guys, it's Scott from JumpCloud. In this video we're going to demonstrate how to import users from a CSV file. After you get the basics down, check out the next video in this series. We'll do an advanced user import and add new users to JumpCloud groups, create them with custom attributes, and bind them to JumpCloud systems during import. If you're new to PowerShell or you need to install the PowerShell module, follow the link in this video's description to be sent to the JumpCloud support wiki where you'll find all the information you need to get up to speed. Additionally, check out the JumpCloud module installation videos located up in the top. Let's dive in.
The two commands we'll be using in this video are new JC import template and import JC user from CSV. New JC import template creates the CSV file that we'll then use to import using import JC users from CSV. After calling the command, you'll see that it tells us that it's going to create the file JC user import with today's date inside of the home directory. That's a perfect place. We're going to keep things pretty basic in this first example, so we don't want to bind new users to existing JumpCloud systems during import. We also really don't care about adding them to groups or creating them with custom attributes. Now that our file is created, let's go ahead and open it. I'm using Google Sheets to interact with the CSV file, but you can interact with the CSV file in any program you choose, whether that's Microsoft Excel, Numbers on Mac, or perhaps another editor. You'll see the CSV file that we've created really only has 5 fields: first name, last name, username, email, and password. These are the fields that we'll need to populate with our user information so that we can then import these users into JumpCloud. In this example, why don't we pull information out of G Suite and then populate this information into the CSV. From within the Google Admin Console, select Users. Within the Users pane, we'll be able to download our users by clicking the dot in the top right corner and then select Download Users. In this case, I'm going to download all of my users. You'll see that this will create a CSV file, which I can then work with to populate our user import template. The only columns that I need out of this export from G Suite are the email address, first name, and last name columns. These other columns won't be used and can be deleted. Why don't we go ahead and put this side by side with the CSV file we created earlier. Now that we have the file side by side, we can go ahead and copy the user information from G Suite into the user import CSV file that we'll be using to create our users in JumpCloud. You'll see there's no username column for us to copy in from G Suite, so why don't we go ahead and create it from the email address. I'm going to go ahead and create a new column here called username, and then copy in all the email addresses. Then I'm going to use the split text to column feature of Google Sheets to separate based on the @ sign in the email address. Now I have the username field, which I can copy in for all the users. If you don't want to use what's in front of the @ sign of the user's email address as their username, feel free to update it. Perhaps for Anthony, I don't want his username to be his first and his last name, I just want it to be Anthony. And maybe for Alexander, let's take out the 1, 2, 3. The great thing about working with the CSV is it gives you full control to change anything about your users before you import them. It's very important to note that the username field cannot be modified after a user has been created. So when we create our users, we want to ensure that the username we set is the one that we want them to keep when they use the JumpCloud platform. Usernames must also be unique in JumpCloud, so we can't have 2 Abels. Let's change this to Alexander. Now we're at a decision point. When we create users in JumpCloud, if we don't specify a password for them, the users will be sent an activation email to the email address. If we do specify a password for them, that will be the user's temporary password and the users will not receive the email address. I'm going to go ahead and set a temp password for all of my users. Great. So we've got our template ready. Let's import the users. Export the CSV file that contains all of your user information. It's very important that the file stays in the type that is a .csv. When you're happy with your CSV file and ready to import your users, you'll use the command import JC users from CSV. The easiest way to use this command is to navigate into the directory where your user import CSV lives. You'll see I'm on my desktop, and on my desktop I have my file. I'm then going to copy this out and provide this to the command. The import process validates usernames, email addresses, and also will check to see if I'm binding to any systems or any groups. The import summary tells you how many users you're going to import. I'm happy with this, and I'm going to go ahead and hit yes. It takes roughly 1 minute per 100 users, so because I'm doing 180 users, it should take about 2 minutes. What we can do to see if the users are being created is watch in the JumpCloud admin consoles as our users appear. We'll see the import process is working, as when I refresh, the user count increases. Users have been added, and they've been added based on the fields in my CSV. As I refresh, I can watch my user count increase. Almost there. We're looking to get to 180. Awesome. So it looks like it worked. We'll also be able to confirm the import was successful, as the output of the command will show each user and their status. If any user wasn't created, their status will not show user created. This information can easily be put into a log, as I'll show in our next demonstration for advanced user imports.
Thanks for watching. Check out more videos in the JumpCloud Module PowerShell Day-to-Day Administration series.